Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today, we're diving headfirst into the dark side of the open road. We're talking about those moments when your trusty steed decides to call it quits in the middle of nowhere, leaving you stranded and vulnerable. Get ready to hear about the top 3 scariest car breakdown horror stories that will make you think twice before hitting the road alone. These are the tales that will make you check your back seat, keep your doors locked, and maybe even opt for a well-lit gas station over that creepy shortcut. Imagine this. You're cruising down a desolate highway, the kind where the only signs of life are the occasional tumbleweed or the distant howl of a coyote. The sky above is a canvas of darkness, dotted with a million unblinking eyes, the stars. You're miles from civilization, the silence around you broken only by the hum of your engine. Then, it happens. Your engine coughs, sputters, and dies, leaving you stranded in the middle of nowhere. You pull over to the side of the road, your heart pounding in your chest. The silence is deafening now, amplified by the sudden absence of the engine's reassuring purr. Panic starts to set in. You check your phone. No signal, of course. You try the engine again, but it's no use. You're stuck. As the minutes tick by, the temperature inside the car starts to drop. You pull your jacket tighter around you, feeling a chill that has nothing to do with the weather. You're completely alone, and the feeling of being watched begins to creep into your mind. You glance at your rearview mirror and that's when you see it. A figure standing in the middle of the road, shrouded in the shadows of the night. It's tall and slender, its edges blurring into the darkness, making it difficult to make out any distinct features. You blink, unsure if your eyes are playing tricks on you. But when you look again, it's still there. The figure starts to move towards you slowly at first, then with increasing speed. You're paralyzed with fear, unable to move, your breath catching in your throat. You watch in terror as it gets closer, each step echoing in the stillness of the night. As it reaches your car, it stops, its form now illuminated by the faint glow of your taillights. It's a woman, her face pale and gaunt, her eyes hollow and filled with an unsettling sadness. She's wearing a long white dress that billows around her like a ghostly shroud. You want to scream, to roll up your windows, to drive away, but you can't move. Picture this. You're driving down a rain-soaked highway, the kind where the wind howls like a banshee and the trees sway violently in the storm. You're late, rushing to get to your destination, the rhythmic swish of the windshield wipers doing little to ease your anxiety. Suddenly your car jerks violently, you hear a loud bang and then silence. Your engine dies, leaving you stranded on the side of the road, the storm raging around you. You try to restart the car, but it's no use. You're stuck. The rain is coming down even harder now, and the wind is whipping it into a frenzy. Through the sheets of water you see a figure walking towards your car. It's a man, drenched to the bone, his face hidden beneath a hooded jacket. He approaches your car and gestures for you to roll down the window. Hesitantly you comply, a knot of unease forming in your stomach. "Need a ride?" the man asks, his voice a low growl that's barely audible over the storm. You take a moment to assess the situation. It's late, the storm is getting worse, and you're stranded. You know it's risky, but you decide to help. Better to be safe than sorry, right? "Get in," you say, unlocking the door. The man slides into the passenger seat, bringing with him the chill of the storm. He doesn't say a word, just stares straight ahead, his face still hidden in the shadows. As you drive, you try to make small talk, to break the uncomfortable silence, but the man only offers gruff, one-word answers. You notice a strange smell in the car, a sickly sweet scent that makes your stomach churn. You glance at the man, but he's still staring straight ahead, his face unreadable. You continue driving, each mile that passes amplifying your unease. The storm outside seems to be mirroring the turmoil brewing inside you. You just want to get home, to be safe in your own space. Suddenly the man speaks, his voice closer than you remember, sending chills down your spine. "Turn here," he says, pointing towards a dark, deserted road. You hesitate, your gut screaming at you to keep driving. I think I should stay on the main road," you stammer, your voice betraying your fear. The man turns to you, and for the first time you see his face. His eyes, glowing with an eerie intensity, seem to burn into you. A cruel smile plays on his lips, revealing a set of teeth that are too sharp, too pointed to be human. "I said, turn here," he repeats, his voice a menacing growl that leaves no room for argument. Fear paralyzes you. You have no choice but to obey. You turn onto the deserted road, the feeling of dread washing over you in waves. The man directs you deeper and deeper into the darkness, his smile widening with each passing mile. You're trapped in a nightmare, hurtling towards an unknown fate, the storm raging around you, a symphony of your terror. The car comes to a sudden halt, throwing you forward against the steering wheel. Chapter 3. The Abandoned Gas Station. Imagine this. You're driving through the desert at night, the vast emptiness around you both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The only sounds are the low hum of your engine and the occasional cry of a nightbird. You're low on gas, the needle hovering precariously close to empty, and your phone is dead. Just when you think you might be stranded in the middle of nowhere, you see it, a beacon of hope in the desolate landscape. An old gas station, bathed in the eerie glow of a flickering neon sign. You pull in, relieved to have found a lifeline. But as you get closer, a sense of unease settles over you. The gas station is dilapidated and deserted, the pumps rusted and covered in cobwebs. The windows of the attached convenience store are boarded up, the paint peeling, the whole place radiating an aura of long-forgotten decay. You hesitate, your gut telling you to turn around, to risk running out of gas rather than venture any further. But you're desperate, and the thought of being stranded in the unforgiving desert pushes you forward. You park your car near one of the pumps and step out, the silence of the desert pressing in on you. The air is thick with the smell of dust and decay, and a strange energy hangs heavy in the air, sending shivers down your spine. You try the pump, but it's bone dry. You try another, and another, but they're all empty. Frustrated, you decide to try the convenience store, hoping against hope that maybe, just maybe, there's someone inside who can help. You approach the boarded-up door cautiously, your footsteps echoing in the stillness. You knock, tentatively, but the only response is the hollow sound of wood hitting wood. You try the doorknob, half expecting it to be locked, but to your surprise, it turns with a groan. The door creaks open, revealing a scene frozen in time. The air inside is stale and thick with dust, cobwebs hanging from every corner. The shelves are bare, stripped of their contents long ago. The only light comes from the moon shining through the cracks in the boarded-up windows, casting long, eerie shadows across the room. You take a tentative step inside, the floorboards groaning under your weight. As your eyes adjust to the dimness, you start to make out shapes in the shadows. You see an old cash register, its drawer hanging open, and a toppled shelf, its contents scattered across the floor. And then, you see it. A figure huddled in the corner, obscured by the shadows. Your heart leaps into your throat, you freeze, your breath catching in your chest. You strain your eyes, trying to make out who or what it is. As you approach cautiously, the figure slowly turns, its face emerging from the darkness. It's a man, his clothes tattered and dirty, his hair matted and unkempt. His eyes, wide and bloodshot, stare at you with an unsettling intensity. He opens his mouth as if to speak, but no words come out, only a low, guttural moan that sends chills down your spine. You back away slowly, your heart pounding in your chest. You want to run, to get away from this place, but your feet feel rooted to the spot. The man takes a step towards you, then another. His movements are slow and deliberate, predatory. You can feel his eyes boring into you, filled with a hunger that makes your skin crawl. You stumble back, your hand connecting with something cold and hard. You glance down and see a rusty wrench lying on the floor. You grab it, your knuckles turning white as you grip it tightly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling tales. Remember, the next time your car breaks down on a deserted road, or you see a lone figure hitchhiking in the pouring rain, or you stumble across an abandoned gas station in the middle of nowhere, think twice before stopping. And remember, always be prepared for the unexpected when you're on the road. Keep your phone charged, your gas tank full, and your doors locked. Stay safe out there. Out.